we're almost done.
It's a pretty cool statue up there.
One down, one to go.
Dracula looking dapper as always.
Why is everything breaking?
Wait. Does the freeze carry over into this?
Well, this is from the same play session as the boss fight against Zobek. So the blizzard glitch is still active.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So anything within a certain range of Dracula gets hit as if it was stunned by the blizzard glitch.
Everything is being crushed under the weight of greatness that this game brings to the table.
Absolutely. So that Roman numeral year, by the way, is 1758, and that was the year that the real-life Pope Clement XIII was installed. So, points for research there.
Good on you, Mercury Steam.
Although apparently in this universe he was responsible for creating a church basilica that was then taken over by the Brotherhood of Light.
I don't really think it's his fault that the Brotherhood took over.
Well, I mean, remember the Brotherhood had been active for 200 years prior to his papacy in this timeline.
I mean, sure, but I still don't think you can really blame the Pope for having one of his facilities taken over. What is going on over there?
It's the blizzard glitch.
Does it reach that far?
Well, it reaches within a specific, very specific range. Within.
Right, it just looked like two of the monsters were fighting each other.
Oh yes, that. Okay, yeah, the Horned Demon and the Riot Police were fighting.
Oh, okay, two different factions then.
Yes, in the same way that in a much earlier video we saw the Riot Police and some possessed citizens fighting.
Right. Okay, got it. Yeah, I couldn't really tell from that distance.
Yeah. Sadly, there is no way to get the monsters to infight. It has to be scripted.
Oh, that's kind of lame, actually.
Yeah, I know.
This glitch makes me so happy, by the way.
It does get old after a while, but who needs sticker missiles when you have ice? Really, the most satisfying part of using the blizzard glitch is just destroying every interactable object around you. And I think with that is the very last collectible in the game. Also, this is funny.
Hail Satan.
You just stand on him and do damage.
And heal.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is my ice sculpture.
First place.
I'm not sure I'm a fan of the Mountain Dew core. I'm docking points for that. I think your statue defrosted too, so I think that disqualifies you.
I'm pretty sure Dracula was gonna place first in that competition no matter what.
I mean, it probably doesn't help that just being in the same room as the other statues would disintegrate them.
You ought to know.
Yeah, that was the last elevator in the main campaign, and, I thought I would find an extremely blunt song to end it.
Well done, sir.
It's also at this point that Dark Monks start showing up in the random encounters.
I see you've turned off your blizzard cloak.
Yep. This is after I've already quit the game. Here's a better look at the Fury Shield. When you have the Fury Shield on, you take half damage. And the rest of that damage gets absorbed into the shield.
Does the shield ever pop?
Yes, it does, once you've taken enough damage.
Okay.
And then it explodes outward into an attack.
Ooh.
Like that. It's a little hard to tell, but that monk didn't actually die from one of Dracula's attacks. It died because the shield exploded.
Boy, they really give you a ton of tools for laying damage in this game.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of incentive to use them because Whirlwind breaks everything. I'm basically forcing myself to use every other move just to make the LP relatively watchable. I'm also showing off here that even though the Dart Monks are dead, the portal is still active until a certain number of possessed citizens spawn in.
That's a really weird choice.
I've found him, Father. The Acolyte is in the cathedral where Zobek first found you. Hurry!
Don't worry, Father. I've done all the interesting stuff off-screen.
I can see where Pokemon Sword and Shield got their inspiration from.
Oh, shots fired. So, this is the Arts District, where we started the game. So, the entrance to meet Alucard is here. It tries to force you to go through there by summoning a bunch of horned demons. And after fighting them all, it gives you this cutscene. Which is very misleading. It makes you think that you have to break this this pile of wood here. And I spent quite a while thinking that that's what I had to do. So I was thinking like maybe, and there also horned demons kept spawning in. Thinking maybe I like had to use one of their attacks to like break the wood so I could go through. Because the game didn't stop me. It wasn't pointing me in the right direction otherwise.
It took me way too long to figure out what this song was.
I have no idea what it is either. I just know it's something from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
It's the second opening of part 4.
Okay, I assume that makes sense to somebody.
Why do you have this if you don't know where it came from?
Because kazoos.
Yeah, I know you referenced JoJo earlier, and I wanted to use like a funny kazoo part for this.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so this is what the game actually wants you to do. Wants you to go through this back alley here. The camera was pointing in the right direction, but at the wrong angle.
Wait, what? That seems very bad.
Yeah.
But while we're on the topic of breaking that pile of wood, the one thing that I've noticed now is absent from this game that was in the original is riding monsters.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. I guess that's something that only the vampire killer could do, because remember there was those spikes that the vampire killer had?
Yes.
That were specifically designed to like torture an enemy into obeying Gabriel's commands.
You'd think as Dracula he'd have some other way of doing that.
Like some possession power, perhaps, that he has demonstrated earlier.
Yeah. Maybe possessing those giant guards was meant to be the replacement for that.
Just venting my frustration. It was also at this point that I wanted to see whether or not the AI actually had pathfinding programmed for climbing. Because Alucard is supposed to be following me here. You coming,
And
son?
he doesn't. And he just doesn't.
Nope, you're staying behind?
Oh,
Nope, he just teleported off screen.
Sloppy.
I mean, I get it. Like, if you're not gonna... most players aren't gonna look back to track Alucard as the key goes up, so why bother spending the time to write pathfinding AI if most people aren't even gonna notice?
Now from the world of Puzz 3D, Titanic, and a grandfather clock that really works. Puzz 3D, going up.
I gotta tell you, that grandfather clock is fire. I think I know.
Also,
what I want
for some reason, they made a Puzz 3D puzzle of the Titanic.
Yeah, why not? Does it come with a glacier?
No, do you assemble it as one boat, or do you assemble it as two halves?
Well, the fun comes in sinking it afterward.
The forces of darkness to pour its infernal power over me. Let the gates of hell open wide.
So I mentioned before that this guy's name is Guido Sandor. I can only assume that he's named after the infamous American Satanist Anton LaVey, whose middle name was Sandor. So it appears that Satan spent the last 900 years hitting the gym and every day was chest day.
And he has pants now!
Yes.
He's got a pretty prominent codpiece.
Oh, Fat Kid's dead.
We knew thee well, Mr. Sandwich. Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, no, please, no.
Yeah.
Look, I knew that we made jokes about Sandor being ugly, but this isn't what we said when I implied that he needed a facelift.
I must congratulate you. I confess, I had not expected to see you here. We could share this world, you and I.
Oh, sorry, I was talking to the cameraman.
But you desire to destroy me. I see that now.
And not 900 years ago?
Gabriel. However, I desire to destroy this world.
And I didn't do it before because I was just so scared of you, Dracula.
And no one will!
So, okay, is it gonna be credits, or is he gonna cast Supernova? What's the deal here?
He's gonna cast Supernova over the credits.
Ah.
It's time. Stop him before he escapes.
Is that the Dracolich?
I love that pose.
Tony Hawk's Pro Dune ripoff.
It's a pretty badass way to ride this thing.
It's a space whale.
We must go up.
I was just assuming it was the Dracolich with skin.
Wait, we have lore?
Yeah, that's the Leviathan. It has no story purpose other than what little you see in the lore. And basically, we've got to do this extended climbing section, which is basically a riff on the same climbing section we did with the Siege Titan in the prologue. except now there's those little gaps that shoot goo at us.
We need to reach those chains.
I guess bookending the game's not the worst way to start your final boss fight.
I know it's a really standard thing to do in video games, even when this one was made, but the way it moves is just really good. Ah!
Go back to your left. There's an access that will allow us to reach the back of the beast.
His name is the Leviathan, Alucard. Did you not read the lore?
I think there was only one copy and Gabriel got it.
I skimmed the script. It's fine.
Dracula does not share anything with his son, then. Yeah, so this section, you got a nice big set piece. You know, you're fighting a bunch of dark monks. And Alucard keeps implying that there's a timer. Turns out there isn't. I was trying to get some a nice footage of Alucard using the Masamune, because he's still using the Masamune here from his disguise as the lieutenant. He does use the Chrysagram in the DLC, though. And I just kept going. There is no time pressure at all. You can keep fighting for as long as you want.
I think he's... I have to assume he's saying it for your benefit then, as the player.
Yeah, it's an artificial attempt at creating tension. This level is Alex Trebek's legacy. In all seriousness, we'll miss you, Alex. Satan never uncrosses his arms through this entire sequence. Oh, except there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's just up there hoping that when they do Lords of Shadow 3, they give him a shirt.
Dracula, this is not what we mean when we're talking about attack chains. You sure you don't want to do another take of that, Jason?
Oh, that's better. Use take 2. On the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Dracula's still powering up. You can start to hear little bits of Dracula's theme coming in the background music.
Come closer, son. I want to embrace you.
I like this body. Let's see what it can do.
Oh no, Alucard's been possessed by Satan. He's been playing too much Dungeons and Dragons. I knew it. So this is the final boss. We have to fight Alucard, possessed by Satan. And he is incredibly tough.
That's fitting. I just kind of feel like it's weird that the final boss isn't just Satan himself.
I mean, to be fair, the boss fight against Satan in Lords of Shadow 1 was kind of underwhelming. I mean, mechanically at least. Also, if you manage to counter Alucard. That happens.
That's pretty awesome.
This is a much better final boss in terms of challenge, even if it's kind of underwhelming in terms of context. I do think I prefer this final boss overall. Like, it actually took me several tries to beat him.
Don't hit me, father!
Also, Jason Isaacs is absolutely chewing the scenery for everything it's got.
He's having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Your hate for me gives my life direction, deep down inside.
Oh, sorry, can't talk. I'm too busy in the menu.
It's your son who's suffering, not me.
That's a low blow.
And continuing the trend of only recording 4 lines of dialogue.
Okay, he's got like 10, to be fair. He has
Are you
like
sure
twice.
about that?
It's your son who's suffering.
Okay, I stand corrected. I was listening to podcasts while recording this. Also, with that particular variant of the Masamune that he's using, Alucard looks a lot like Siegfried from Soul Calibur.
Yes.
I could see it, yeah.
Also, this is just the first phase of his fight. Eventually, he starts doing this. He will start dropping meteors on us, which you have to dodge, unless you've got the Void Shield. And the meteors, when they drop, they leave that black goo that damages us. Also, if you dodge in one direction for too long, the game will drop a meteor directly in front of your face.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it wasn't funny when I recorded it, but in hindsight, yes, it is very funny.
That's clever on their part.
Yeah.
So when does he cast Supernova?
I think that whole meteor sequence was Supernova.
Oh man, I was getting ready to go get a sandwich.
Not me.
Hey guys, I'm starting to suspect his son is suffering, not the devil.
Well, I mean, clearly it's his son who's the devil. I mean, he's been playing D&D too much, and that caused him to be possessed. All those Scarab Straight videos were right.
Including the one starring Tom Hanks. And there,
Yes.
we've come full circle!
Yes! It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Alucard's plan was always to...
There you go. You can hear Dracula's theme right there, right?
Beautiful rendition, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like this meteor part. I'm bad at it.
Even discounting the fact that you're having a rough time dodging the meteors, I feel like this meteor section is kind of boring.
It's very intense when you're actually playing it. Especially when you're at like really low health, because it is terrifying.
Okay, that I'll cop to that, but like
Those meteors are very fast.
he did that meteor thing 3 times in this fight, and each one of those sections was identical.
Okay, I'll give you that. It's not as fun to watch as it is to play. At least that meteor section. Perhaps I should have skipped one of those.
Bless you, Gabriel. What?
I'm glad he started breaking out the new dialogue in
Yes,
time for
that
the
was
final
good.
hit.
But I'm sure if I had dragged out that part, he would have repeated that new dialogue as well. Oh, okay, here's the supernova.
Oh yeah, that's what Daddy craves right there.
See, the game started with a big explosion and ended with one. It's like poetry, it rhymes.
What now? Prince of Darkness. Are you going to kill your son again?
See, the real reason that Dracula is angry is that Satan brought up Mirror of Fate.
That's a natural
Oh,
reaction.
yeah, that's a low blow.
That is an inexcusable sin.
I know you, Gabriel Belmont. Your feelings will betray you. You won't kill your son to destroy me.
Even though you've already done it once.
Don't know me, Satan.
With Satan's scream pitched at this specific time, it sounds almost exactly like a Tarzan yell. See, that's why Gabriel didn't use the vampire killer earlier, because he needed it to kill Satan.
That's how Satan goes out? He gets juked?
Yep.
You came up from the gutter, Rocky, and you're back in the gutter, Rocky. Just fix the street over the top of me. It's fine.
I hope that the governor of Castlevania City has a lot of money to spend on infrastructure. Dracula, you bit through your coat. That's not going to work.
No, he's straining his blood through the coat.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get it as pure as possible.
I know this is supposed to be like a really, really dramatic scene, but what the fuck?
Father,
I apologize for ruining the scene.
It's time to go.
What happens now?
Good, fuck that game.
Yes. Finally, it's the best thing Dracula's done in this entire game. You know, this ending could have been much better if Dracula had just vomited on Satan.
He really did only do that the one time, didn't he?
Yeah, they should have brought that back. Even make it a QTE. That would have been even better. A mandatory QTE, even if you have them off.
Press Y to vomit.
Yes.
Sorry, Satan. I just had some bad wings from a pizza restaurant over there.
Hey, son, you want some pizza?
Don't get the wings.
Don't get the wings. I hear they're made of chicken. Let's get the human wings instead. It's over. Well, mostly over. It's like 90% over.
Not much left to this now.
So, there's a lot to unpack. We've got about 3 games worth of material to go over. It's been a good year now since we started this mega thread, which in hindsight, I think that was probably my biggest mistake, was to make this a mega thread rather than to have, a couple of games in between. Because I don't regret, I don't regret making this LP. I just regret doing these games back to back to back. Anyway, what do you guys think?
I feel like
That
you first, Roy.
that series is amazing except for Mirror of Fate. Definitely pick it up, definitely play it. It's really amazingly well done, beautifully crafted. Just have fun with it. Go pick it up as a guilty pleasure. It's incredible.
I feel like Lords of Shadow has quite a bit of heart. Like, it's trying to do its own thing, and the things it does well, it does pretty damn well. But a lot of it is, the execution is just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I would expect you guys to have more positive opinions about this series than I do, just because you didn't have to play it.
Well, do we want to talk about the Metacritic a little?
Yes, because the press really liked the first game. They were really on board with the first game, even if the fans weren't. And then it was a slow but steady slope downward from there.
Yeah, it took a slow burn in the press's eyes. I'm looking at the Metacritic reviews for these. 15 positive reviews from critics, 32 mixed, and 8 negative. But the user reviews, the individuals who reviewed it, 109 positive reviews, 20 mixed, and 9 negative. The critics were not kind to this series. And they echo some of what Chaos said about it being a bit disjointed, but I think they were particularly harsh on this series.
Yeah, I still think that I would prefer the first game over the second, even with all the improvements that the second game made. I think that as a complete product, the first is superior.
Yeah.
And I still think that the second is an inferior sequel, but mechanically there are parts that are much better. And that being said, I do think that the user reviews might be a bit nicer to the game than I would. I do think that, I do think the critics were too harsh on it, but perhaps not to the same extent that the others would be. Also, look at the credits here. First Acolyte, second Acolyte, third Acolyte. They don't even have names outside of the lore.
That's disappointing.
Well then.
Also, TV presenter is that one guy on Not CNN in that single cutscene from like one of the earlier videos where Zobek was watching CNN at one point.
Right.
He has a name in the lore. I don't remember what it is. Well, next up is the DLC, Revelations, which is good. There are some parts of it that are probably the worst gameplay in the series, but other than that, it's good.
I kind of wonder how well Lords of Shadow would have fared if it were a standalone IP rather than trying to be like a distillation of Castlevania, I guess.
I think it would have fared decently. I don't know about Well, I mean, there are some, much more traditional vampire games that have done reasonably well while taking a lot of inspiration from Castlevania.
Right.
Even aside from the likes of Bloodstained, which is just, Iga, picking up where he left off. A game like Vampire, for example, which is very classical in its vampire influences, that did pretty well.
Right. I'm just wondering, like, how much of a noose having the Castlevania name tied to this was on, like, the series or the sub-series reception, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think that the fans wouldn't have liked it regardless. But
if they came into this, like, not expecting a Castlevania product, just a different sort of vampire game from Konami, like, I wonder if that would have helped its reception.
Maybe. I don't think it would be a guarantee, but maybe. And I think that Lords of Shadow 2, even if it was still in the Castlevania brand, I think maybe it could have benefited from having a different lead. If they had managed to control Enrique Alvarez and had, the different department leads have more creative freedom, I think that could have benefited from a more cohesive and focused product.
Yeah, that couldn't hurt. Wait, Ryo Aoki was on this project?
Wait, what?
It's a Yakuza's have a joke.
I think we're ignoring the obvious solution here. Lords of Shadow the movie, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Produced by Ryo Aoki. What?
You serious?
And there we go. Next time it's the DLC.
$10.
Actually, I gotta double check. I don't know if it's $10. Hold on. I gotta check my Steam library.
I'll check the store page. Lords of Shadow 2.
It is Revelations is $8. Currently on sale for $4.39 Canadian, but it is $8.29 normally.
They reduced the price! You fools!
Well, that $10 joke was, remember, that was for Lords of Shadow 1. Where the two DLC packs were $10 each.
Each?
Yeah.
It was $20 to get both halves of the DLC, and it's only like what, an hour worth of gameplay? Maybe 2?
No, it's maybe 2 hours. So Revelations is $8.29. It's probably about $7, I'm guessing, US. It's about the same length as those two DLC packs combined, and it's better than both of them. I'm not saying it's great.
But it's better.
It's better than both of them, and quite good.
Oh, thank God.
We'll have fun with that. Alucard plays pretty well. We'll see as we get into the two videos with Alucard. Oh yes, in case it wasn't obvious, Richard Madden reprises his role as Alucard in Lords of Shadow 2.
I think I saw that in the
Excellent.
credits, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll remember enough about the Song of Ice and Fire books to make appropriate jokes at Alucard's expense.